Let's dive right into the fascinating truth hiding inside a seemingly innocent gas station staple. Welcome to today's explainer, where we're uncovering the official Halal Radar verdict on packaged honey buns. Now, on the surface, a honey bun looks incredibly simple, right? It's just bread, sugar, some glaze, and a little honey. But as we're about to see, there's a pretty complex hidden reality regarding the ingredients used in these super popular treats. Ingredients that don't clearly state whether they come from plants, animals, or halal-certified sources. When you or I grab a honey bun at a gas station, a vending machine, or the supermarket, the real question isn't just, hey, does this taste good? The ultimate question we have to ask ourselves is whether it is pure to eat in front of a law. Is this halal or is it haram? Most people just see this as a normal snack for school lunches or corner shops. But for a mindful consumer, that simple little wrapper carries a whole lot of weight. The front of that label, it totally sells you this simple, natural story, sweet honey and fresh pastry. But flip that thing over and the ingredient list hits you with a highly complex chemical reality. When you investigate common packaged honey buns, you'll definitely see the usual suspects: enriched flour, sugar, water, palm oil, and maybe some honey powder. But you're also going to find a whole host of complicated additives, things like preservatives, emulsifiers, dough conditioners, and enzymes.
Section 1. Hidden Ingredients. Decoding labels. Let's get right into it.
To really decode these labels, we first need to understand what these additives are actually doing to the pastry. Take emulsifiers and dough conditioners. These are basically used in commercial baking to artificially improve the dough's texture. They are the manufacturing secret behind why a packaged honey bun can literally sit on a convenience store shelf for weeks and still feel soft and moist when you bite into it. But as you might guess, this exact manufacturing trick leads us directly into dietary doubt. And here is where it gets tricky. There are 4 specific, super common additive risks hiding right there in the dough. First up, mono and diglycerides. Sure, they keep the buns soft, and while they can totally be plant-based, they can absolutely come from animal fat too. If it's unconfirmed, it's doubtful. Second, we have complex synthetic compounds like DATEM and stearyl lactylates. Try saying that 3 times fast. These are heavily processed chemical dough conditioners, and without halal certification, their true source is a total mystery. Third, enzymes. Some are microbial, which is great, but others come straight from animal sources. And finally, natural and artificial flavors. A lot of folks don't know this, but alcohol is sometimes used as a solvent or a carrier for these flavors. If the company doesn't confirm it, there's just zero guarantee for us as consumers. Moving on to Section 2, the Islamic diet, going beyond the surface.
This whole thing really boils down to one powerful principle. Islam doesn't just ask what something looks like, It asks exactly where it comes from. It's just not enough that a snack looks like bread and smells like honey. The origin of every single ingredient, how it's actually made, and whether it contains anything forbidden by Allah, all of that has to be considered. Packaged honey buns aren't judged by the word honey in their name. They're judged by their entire ingredient list.
Now, I want to be super clear here. Sweet snacks aren't automatically haram just because they're processed. The basic ingredients, your enriched flour, sugar, vegetable oil, milk, and eggs, those are inherently halal. The problem only pops up when these perfectly pure ingredients get mixed with or contaminated by forbidden elements, like pork-derived shortening, lard, pork gelatin, or alcohol-based flavorings. If a product is entirely plant-based with absolutely zero haram contamination, it can absolutely be halal. But honestly, here's the real reality check for us. Honey buns are just a snack. They aren't some life-saving medicine, right? They're definitely not a necessity for survival. Because we're just talking about a passing craving here, we really shouldn't gamble with doubtful ingredients, not when there are so many clear, undeniably halal alternatives out there waiting for us.
All right, Section 3, the verdict. Here is the official Halal Radar ruling.
Based on everything we've just uncovered, the final Halal Radar verdict is crystal clear. Avoid packaged honey buns. And the reasoning behind this verdict is actually pretty straightforward. Without a clear, reliable halal certification, all those weird, confusing words on the back of the package make the absolute safest Islamic position one of total avoidance. Because most of these snacks are completely uncertified, the true source of their emulsifiers, enzymes, dough conditioners, and flavor solvents just remains a total mystery to the buyer, and we just don't want to mess with that. So, Section 4. What to do? Let's look at some highly actionable steps. Here is a super simple 3-step action plan you can use every single time you find yourself navigating the snack aisle. Step 1, always look for a trusted halal symbol. If it isn't there, scan the ingredients for glaring red flags like lard, gelatin, DATEM, or natural flavors. Step 2, take the initiative to contact the manufacturer directly to get some actual answers. And step 3, just choose halal certified bakery snacks. Grab something from a local Muslim bakery, find a brand you know is certified, or hey, just bake them yourself at home where you control exactly what goes into the mixing bowl.
Now, if you do decide to reach out to a company, you've got to be specific. Don't just ask, hey, is this halal? Because honestly, they probably won't fully understand the dietary laws. Instead, ask them these 3 exact questions to get past the marketing fluff and down to the actual source. Ask, are the emulsifiers entirely plant-based? Are the enzymes microbial or animal-derived? And finally, are any of your flavors made with alcohol or animal-derived carriers? Getting clear answers to those specific questions will give you the certainty you actually need.
Okay, quick pause here. If you're watching this explainer right now and suddenly realizing, oh man, I've eaten these a bunch of times in the past, please do not panic. Allah is most merciful. The guidance here is actually very simple. Once you learn the truth, just stop eating them. Seek forgiveness and simply commit to being a little more careful and mindful moving forward. It's all about learning and doing better next time. I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful thought to chew on today. Our Deen teaches us true dignity in what we consume. Something as small as an everyday snack can easily become a really profound test of taqwa, of our God consciousness. Sometimes the absolute greatest act of devotion isn't some massive grand gesture. It's literally just having the discipline to put a doubtful package right back on the shelf, knowing that leaving the doubtful for the sake of Allah is always, always better than satisfying a quick craving. So next time you're standing in that snack aisle, ask yourself, are you ready for that test? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and remember to keep questioning what's behind the label.